Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. So today I'm going to be teaching you all how to mail a letter. I'm not sure if a lot of teachers teach this, but it's super important. So if you want to be able to write to friends or write family from afar, the best way to do it is through the postal service. It's personalized, and when you take the time out to write somebody, they appreciate it so much. Whether that's a thank you note, or maybe you're just writing to say hello, or maybe it's happy birthday. Whatever it may be, it's really nice to mail a letter because then you can add your own personal touches. A lot of times people use email, and that's great, or they use social media to connect, and that's fine too. But this is a great thing to do for somebody. So you are going to need an envelope. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. You're also going to need something to write with. So that could be a pen, it could be a marker. I would say the best thing to use in the beginning is a pencil, because with pencils, you can erase. So we have our envelope in front of us. So what you're gonna wanna make sure is that your envelope isn't upside down. And what I mean by that is the top part of the opening where you put the letter in, you're gonna wanna make sure that that little flap is on the very top, on the same top of where you are going to be putting your stamp on the other side. So in the left-hand corner, you are going to be writing your name and your address. It's from you. And then down in the middle of the envelope, you are going to be writing out your friend or whoever you're going to be mailing it to, right in the middle, and you're going to write their name first. Underneath and below that is where you're going to be writing the address. So in the from section from you, below your name, you're going to write your address, and below the person you're sending it to, you're going to write their address. And you're going to want to start with the number of their street. So for instance, me, I could write my address is 33 Sunflower Lane. So I would write that first. Now, under your friend's name or whoever you're sending it to, you will write the same. Then you are going to want to write the apartment number if it's being sent to an apartment. If it's not, then you can leave that out. Next, you're going to want to write the person's city and state as well as yours. I'm going to be leaving you all with a freebie that you can download with a list of all the abbreviations of the states if you do not want to write them all out. I know that there are some states that are much longer to spell than, for instance, New Hampshire, for instance. That's a little bit longer, so you might want to use an abbreviation for it. So after that, you are going to be writing the zip code. Now, the zip code doesn't necessarily have to be right next to the state. It could be below it. Whatever you have enough room for is fine. So after that, you are going to be getting your stamp. Now, when you put your stamp on, make sure that it's not hanging off the edges, because you don't want anything to stick to that except for the envelope that you're putting it on. Once you have that stamp on, you are good to go. Flip it over. You can write something on the back of it. You can even decorate it. It's fine. That's not a big deal. So if you don't have a little sticker that you peel off to close the envelope, you can do something fun. You can lick it. And I don't necessarily suggest you licking it, but when I was younger, I liked to lick it because I thought it tastes good. But you can do whatever you want. Just ask your parent. That's my best suggestion. So after you get done, you are going to close the envelope, and then it should be ready to send. Check over to make sure you got the address correct, the zip code correct, and the state. And then you can send it. Congratulations, you did an awesome job. Now, make some more letters. So this is my final letter. It's got my name, it's got my address, it's got my city and state and zip code, and then I have the person I'm writing it to. So instead of me writing, for instance, friend or Uncle Jim, I would just write their first and last name out. You can write it so it goes to silly name, and that's okay. Maybe it's a friend or somebody else that has a nickname. That's totally fine. The most important thing on your letter is the address. So we are all ready to send our letter in the mail. And this is so much fun because you're gonna stick it in that mailbox and you're gonna be like, oh, where did it go? Now, sometimes at certain times of the day, your letter might be staying in the mailbox overnight. Mailmen and mailwomen come at all different times. So if you check out your window once in a while, you might be able to notice the pattern on what time they actually show up. So if you want your letter to go out right away, I would go out there and put it in the mailbox early in the morning, and then you're guaranteed that they'll pick it up and send it off. What's really cool about the post office is people a long time ago would send messages. And you know how they would send messages? They would send them from birds. And they would have to have a message go to another kingdom from afar or another place. And they would train birds to send messages away. So if you look at the logo for the post office, you will see a bird on it. And I'm not sure if it represents the United States, but I'm pretty sure it also represents the fact that the mail service used to be run by birds. And they would train them and they would send messages. Isn't that so cool? I find that so cool. When you are writing somebody's state, you might not know what is the abbreviation. Those are those two letters that represent that state. Just like when you send to a friend LOL, laugh out loud, or WRD, what are you doing? Okay, even though that's not even, the R is an R. Anyways, I'm gonna give you a list of states as well in the link I provide below for your letters. So if you are unsure what state you are in, you can look that up, okay? And also, as far as zip codes go, you're just going to have to ask a parent or a guardian. It is pretty important to have the zip code on, but there are many times that I have sent a letter and accidentally didn't put the zip code on it, or maybe I wrote the zip code wrong, but it still got to the person. So you're fine. So this is my final letter, because I showed you guys, and I drew some pictures on the back, and that's okay too. You can even put stickers too on it. So if you live at a house and you have an actual mailbox that has one of those red looking arrows or flags, you are going to stick your letter in there, shut the door, make sure you shut the door, and put up the arrow. That will signal the mailman to know that there is a letter in there that you would like to fly off and send to someone. Now, if you don't have one of these mailboxes, you are going to look for your mail room, and usually it will say outbox, or it will say something about sending out. And you'll look for that little slot and you will stick it in that little slot and watch it go. I hope you found this helpful, and if you ever want to send letters to us, I so love letters. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you learned something. I'll see you soon.